Whoa.
You're a lot better at this than I am.
No, you just can't care. You just gotta do it.
Oh gosh.
I'm a pediatric ICU nurse
What's at your hospital? HIPAA.
at HIPAA. I work at a hippopotamus.
Hi friends, welcome to my very first YouTube video. My name is Preethika, I'm 25 years old. This is
Stop.
Shreyas, he's also 25 years old. And he likes
We're
pizza.
friends. We're good friends.
We're married, okay.
Wow.
I'm a pediatric ICU nurse, a new grad, and yeah. Okay, now that we've all survived that incredibly awkward introduction, thank you all for still being here and welcome to my very first YouTube video. My name is Preethika, I'm 25 years old and I'm a pediatric ICU nurse by profession. I'm a new grad, which means I'm still in my orientation period. And like a lot of other people out there, I have so many hobbies outside of my day job. So I created this channel to not only tell you guys and just share my experience being a nurse, because I feel like I didn't see enough of it growing up. I'm also going to share just kind of what work-life balance looks like for me, because I know it looks different for all of us. Just for context, I graduated from nursing school in December of 2021. I went to an accelerated nursing program. So I'm a second career nurse, which means I went to college once, I was on a different career path, and then later decided that I wanted to do nursing. So I went back and got my BSN, my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. And so I went through an accelerated program for that, an ABSN. So I graduated December 21. I took my NCLEX in February of 2022. And then I started my pediatric ICU nurse residency in March of 2022. And now it's August. Every nurse residency program is structured a little differently. Mine is about a year long. There's lecture classes that go on periodically for that entire year, and the first 20 weeks of that year you're with a preceptor, so you're paired with a more experienced nurse. I'm week 18 of those 20 weeks, so I just have a couple weeks left with my preceptor before I'm on my own. So I'm almost done with that period, and that's just kind of where I am in my training right now. I'm still pretty new. Today I am taking you on a day in my life. I'm currently on night shift. It is 11 p.m. right now as I'm recording this, and I'm just going to show you my routines, and along the way just share a little bit about my journey to nursing. So if you like this video, please make sure to like it and subscribe. It helps me a lot and it helps me figure out what kind of content you guys like to see. I also have an Instagram that I'm linking here, or it's also in the description box, and follow me along there, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Okay, so I'm actually getting ready to head to bed. Every night shift nurse does it differently. I personally, when I'm on my night shift rotation, prefer to treat 7 a.m. as 7 p.m. and then I treat 7 p.m. as 7 a.m. So for example, right now it's currently like 10 a.m. I'm treating it as 10 p.m. I'm gonna go to bed now, and then I'll wake up at around 5 p.m. and start getting ready for my shift, which starts at 7 p.m. And then I'll be up all night, and then I'll come back tomorrow morning and I'll sleep around 10 a.m. again and kind of repeat. Good morning, good evening, I don't know, it's 5:10 p.m. I woke up about 10 minutes ago. I'm starting to get ready for work. I actually just got a text message from my preceptor. She had to call out last minute, so I'm gonna be paired with someone else today. And I'm honestly a little nervous about it. I think that's just one of the things about nursing though. You just kind of have to roll with the punches, and like, you never know what patient you're gonna get, you never know what the day's gonna look like. So kind of off to an interesting start. I'm a little nervous about today, but we'll see how it goes. So I thought I would talk through my extremely simple face routine. Step 1, wash your face with regular water. Okay, step 2, dry your face with a towel, which I didn't bring, so I'll be right back. Step 3, put lotion on. I use the CeraVe AM cream. I know it doesn't make sense because I'm technically working night shift, but it just helps me keep with my routine if I use the same creams I would use if I was on day shift. So like I use this before I go to work, and I use the PM cream before I go to bed at like 10 a.m.
And that's it. That's about all my routine is. Yeah, I prefer just to keep it simple because it's just easier in the mornings. I don't really have to think about it. And it just makes life a little easier. So next I eat. When I work, I eat the same exact thing before every shift because it helps me kind of separate like home life from work life. So having a designated work routine just helps me get in the right mindset for work and like mentally prepare for a potentially long 12 hours. So for breakfast, I always have Kodiak oatmeal, either the cinnamon or maple brown sugar flavor. And I have an egg. I just make it in a pan with some goat cheese. And I have coffee. And that's about it. But as I eat, I thought I would just tell you a little bit about why I'm making this video and why I started this channel and how I hope it'll help anyone out there. Long story short, I took a really roundabout way to nursing. I was pre-med for all of my first undergrad degree. I took a gap year, worked in a private psych practice for that time, and then I applied to medical school, took the MCAT, did all of that stuff. A part of me always knew that medicine, like the physician path, wasn't for me, but I kind of felt a lot of pressure to go into it. And I really think that if I had seen a nurse who looked like me, or I had gotten a really realistic look at what life as a nurse could be like, I would have turned to nursing a lot sooner in my life, and I wouldn't have gone through all those hoops and kind of gone through the pre-med process before deciding to switch. So basically what happened was I applied to medical school, and then halfway through the cycle was like really unhappy, and I thought things would get better, but they weren't. So I made the decision to pull all my applications and switch into nursing, and I haven't looked back since. Like, that has been the best decision for me. I hope that just taking you through my day today and sharing my experience with nursing can maybe help anyone out there who's trying to make the decision for themselves just make a more informed decision. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing this, and I hope it can be of help. Okay, so I'm done eating. Now I'm just kind of prepping for the shift, so packing lunch, filling up my water bottle. So for lunch, I always, again, just routines, I always take a chia seed pudding. It has some strawberries in it. Sometimes I do blueberries, and then yesterday I meal prepped and made like this chana dal rice that I prefer eating Indian food. I grew up eating Indian food, so I just find myself always taking Indian food for lunch. But I made this yesterday in the Instant Pot. I have my chia seed pudding. I'm gonna fill up this water bottle and just kind of pack. So before leaving, I like to just have my pockets ready for the shift, and so I thought I would just share what I always carry with me when I go into the hospital. The first is my report sheet. I actually made this myself, and it's a little extra, but especially being new, it just helps me keep track of everything for each of my patients. Thank you. And then I also just have my 3 pens, and that's literally all I carry. And then I'll take my water out to the water station, and that's about it. Okay, so it's about 6:15. I'm about to head out. Shreyas walked me down and helped me bring my stuff to the car, and I should get to the hospital with like 10 minutes to spare, and I usually like to get there a little early just so I can sit for a little bit. It's just easier to go into the hospital when I don't feel like I'm rushing all the time, and it just sets me up for a better shift, I feel like. So getting there a little early, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I just got to the hospital, and as expected, I got here a few minutes early. I know I've talked a lot about how I have to mentally prepare and like I'm a little nervous for work before every shift, and that's really normal for new ICU nurses. It's something that
me and everyone in my cohort feels. Even though work makes me kind of nervous sometimes, I really do love my job. I feel pushed every time I come to the hospital. Like, I come out of all of my shifts feeling like I've gotten better in some way. Like, I'm a better nurse, I've improved at some type of skill. And so when I come into every shift, I just kind of like to ground myself and be like, so today, no matter what happens, these are the skills I'm working on, and I'm gonna come out of the shift feeling like I've gotten better at these. Yeah, I have a couple more minutes, so I'm just gonna hang out, and sorry you guys keep seeing all my hands. I'm clearly not very good at this vlogging thing. But I'm just gonna hang out for a couple minutes and head in.
One eternity later.
Hi friends, I just finished my 12-hour shift. I'm getting into my car, and I really was planning to update you guys on how this, oh my gosh, I'm so sweaty and greasy. Typical, this is normal. Oh, I was hoping to like find time to update you during my lunch break and tell you how the day was going, but it just got really busy and I couldn't find a quiet space to do it. So I'm just gonna give you all the updates now. So my shift was good. I had a pretty busy, like moderately busy patient pair. The preceptor I was paired with today was awesome. Oh, lights. She was really great. She actually had the trauma pager today, which was really cool because I got to go down to the trauma bay with her when her pager went off a couple times, and just got to see what that process was like and the role of the PICU nurse when potentially critical patients come into the ED. But yeah, that's kind of how my first half of the shift went. It was just like juggling my patient care with the trauma pager. And then the second half of my shift, I feel like I ate lunch at like 3 a.m. and then the second half of the shift kind of flew by, but like 12-hour shifts take a lot of mental energy and a lot of mental stamina. And I could definitely feel myself like slowing down at like 4 a.m., which is really unfortunate because 4 a.m. is when things get really, really busy. Like, all of our labs are due at 4 a.m. X-ray comes by at 5 a.m. usually, and that's kind of a big, it depends on your patient, but it can be a big ordeal, especially if they're intubated and have a bunch of tubes and stuff. You have to make sure that you have enough people in the room to like move your patient safely onto the X-ray board, and it can be a lot, especially when you're paired like we were today. And yeah, and then like 6 o'clock rolls by, all of your assessments are due, and then you have to get ready to give report, which takes a little bit of time to prep for. And then 7 is shift change, and then you're done. And it flew by. I've been off a few days, so I definitely felt like there was an adjustment period, and I feel a little bit rusty and slow. A lot of these skills are still kind of new to me, so if I don't practice for a while, I've noticed that I lose it pretty quick. Like, it takes me a while to kind of remember the steps and how to do stuff, but slowly getting the hang of it. But yeah, overall a good shift. I worked on my time management, met a new preceptor who was awesome, and learned a lot. So yeah, I'm about to head home. The rest of the night just basically looks like eating, showering, and then heading straight to bed. So right now it's about 8 a.m. and the goal is to be in bed by 10 a.m. So let's see if this happens. So that about concludes my day. It's 10:30 in the morning. I'm a little behind schedule, but I'm about to head to bed. I work tomorrow and the day after, so I'm basically just gonna repeat this whole routine those 2 days. Nothing's gonna change, and that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in to my very first, probably really chaotic, I don't even know how the editing is gonna turn out for this video. I'm basically going to be sharing more nursing stuff and just things I do outside of the hospital. So photography, just any of our travel, and life in general. So if you're interested in any of those things, please follow me, subscribe, and I'm linking my Instagram down below too, where I'll probably be putting a lot of my photography going forward. So thanks again, and hope to see you in the next video.